But here's how the system works. Everything you could ever ask for, you could ever have now, or ever ask for in the future, you already have right now. You already have all of it. You simply are not experiencing it. Because everything that has ever happened is happening now, and ever will happen is happening right now. And so, it is for you merely to reach into the sea of infinite possibilities and call forth the reality you choose now to experience.
So I really learned over a period of time, it's very critical insight to help me get to where I am, is to focus on the end. What is it I really want? Put that focus together, and it's very critical. It's very interesting because a lot of people have, well, I would like this, and it's a broad general category, and then at some point it's like, well, it's not specific enough. You have to actually say what it is you want. Be conscious of what you're asking for, because the more detail you put in, the more the universe can manifest a resolution. If you leave a lot of blanks in what you want, then all of a sudden it's like, well, it's random, whatever fills in the blank, because you never said what you wanted. You can have an idea of what you want, and that's important. But the most important part of that, just having an idea, is not just have a broad idea. I want X, and I go, no. What exactly do you want? What consciousness is controlling your behavior and your genes? And so it's time to stop for a second and recognize, where is your consciousness? What are you thinking about? And the idea is, start thinking all those very positive thoughts, but don't try and tell the universe how it's going to manifest, okay? You think of the picture, let the universe get you there. And that's the most important lesson I've learned. I'm not telling the universe how I'm going to get there. Focus on the end. Don't tell the universe the means to get there.
But here's how the system works. Everything you could ever ask for, you could ever have now, or ever ask for in the future, you already have right now. You already have all of it. You simply are not experiencing it. Because everything that has ever happened is happening now, and ever will happen is happening right now. And so, it is for you merely to reach into the sea of infinite possibilities and call forth the reality you choose now to experience. And you do this, you call forth from the sea of infinite possibilities the reality you choose to now experience through three devices mainly: thought, word, and action. That is, what you say, what you think or believe, and of course what you do. Now, if what you say is, please give me what I need today to survive, you will have a struggle acquiring what you need today to survive, because the statement comes from a deep underlying thought that you do not now have that, or you wouldn't be asking for it. It is that underlying thought, what Conversations with God calls the sponsoring thought, that has a huge influence on the creation of your moment-to-moment reality. Therefore, if you ask for something, or if you say, I want something, I'll use an example, I want more money, or I really want more money in my life. The universe has only one answer to a statement like that. Indeed you do. That is correct. See, the universe only says yes. The universe has a universal response to every thought, and the universal response is yes. See, God only knows one word: yes. God has a very limited vocabulary. God says yes, yes, yes. Yes to what? Yes to whatever you think, say, or do. God says yes. Now the good side of that is, the positive side is that God never says no. The bad side of that is, for those who don't know how the system works, God only says yes. So if you say, I am sick and tired of my life going like this, God says, yes, that's true. I want more money. God says, indeed you do. Yes, that's true. You want money. That's true. And you will have the experience of wanting money because you're declaring, in fact, what's true for you. I want more money. Yes, you do. Yes, that's true. And so you will talk yourself right out of what you're trying to talk yourself into. I don't want you to feel that you got to start parsing the language and worrying about every single syllable that you utter that proceeds from your mouth. But you do need to look deeply at the sponsoring thought, that is, at the foundational idea from which your words emerge. That you do need to look at. Or to put it another way, if you're coming from lack and from a thought that there's not enough, and couldn't I please have more, you are having to overcome in the first instance your thought that there's not enough.
The law of attraction is what I call a linguistic convenience for really the law of radiation. You're actually radiating something. You're actually emanating a vibration. And then that vibration condenses itself as your experience, and it looks like you're attracting it to you, but you're actually sending that frequency out. And so the idea is you're seeking to become the next great vision and version of yourself. And so the law of attraction is a good entry-level conversation. How do I attract this to come to me? Now, you can't attract something if you're not it. If you're not holding that vibration, you can manipulate and get it into your life, but you won't be able to keep it because you're not vibrating at its frequency. Which is why, like, say, people who steal that haven't earned it generally lose what they steal. They can't keep it. They have to keep stealing because they don't have the consciousness of actually having that. So you steal somebody's car, that person is just going to have the insurance company buy them a new car. That's a part of them. They're not going to, it's going to be a minor inconvenience, but they're going to get another car. But the person who stole the car is going to ditch it after a while. They're going to have to sell it, to steal another car, to steal another car. They're not it. They're not the thing, you see. So the law of attraction is actually, I teach the law of radiation, law of radiance, the law of emergence. What does that mean? We live in a field of infinite possibilities, infinite potential. And things already exist in the potential form. And when you're at the proper frequency, they emerge, much like a rose emerges from a rose bush seed. It doesn't attract it. The seed is not attracting a rose. Inside of that seed, the rose bush emerges from it. Inside of an avocado seed, there's a tree that emerges from it. The seed is not attracting the avocado. It's already in there. So in the beginning stage, as we learn these things, it's just easier to say the law of attraction, you see. But eventually, you have to actually become that vibration. So through study and practice, as you have done, your life changes. You're not just teaching this stuff, you're actually living this. This is who you are. This is who you are. You cannot be separated from this. If somebody were to kidnap you and throw you into another country, you'd still be this, you see. And in a short while, you'd manifest this all over again. If somebody said, you can't live in America, you have to go live, send them back. Within 30 days, you'd be up and running because this is who you are. You understand?
If I wanted something in this world, and who doesn't, I would formulate an act which would imply that I have it. And then in my imagination, I would simply, having performed that act, I would yield completely to this being within me to execute it. I would fall off into sleep, convinced that he heard me, that he saw my act in faith. I simply yield completely to him, having acted. It's an act of self-commission. I perform the act. What act? I act as though I had what I sought. I act as though I heard that you have what you asked of me. I perform an act, and then I yield completely to that depth of my own being, who is God, and allow him from that depth to externalize it for me. All I have to do is to completely yield to this being within me, for he has ways and means I, on this level of my being, know not of. I rise then under compulsion. And under this compulsion, I go through a series of events which will lead up to the fulfillment of that to which I yielded. I assume that it's done. And then I commune with myself and gave thanks within me that it is done. And it works in every way you want to be, and you name it. You want to be successful in the world of Caesar, in dollars and cents, nothing wrong with it. You want to be a successful doctor, successful lawyer, I don't care what it is. You want to be, well then formulate in your mind's eye what it would be like if it were true. How would you see the world if you were now the man that you would like to be? See it in your mind's eye, and then yield yourself completely to the depth of your own being. How do I do that? Simply fall asleep in the assumption. I dare to assume that I am the man that at the moment reason denies, and then fall asleep in that assumption, leaving it completely to the depth of my own being to externalize it in my world. I will wake tomorrow morning under compulsion to do certain things which I had not formulated, I hadn't determined. I'll find I'll meet the right people. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do the other. And it all adds up towards the externalization of my assumption. So within you is that power, within you is that wisdom to do anything that you desire in this world.